I'm in charge of investing pretty much $1.4 billion around the globe. At the end of the day, my belief on digital transformation is that it's about transforming the mindset of the organization. I think there's a divide between this generation of organizations and a previous generation of organizations. And that previous generation of organizations, the biggest challenge that they will have will be identifying the talent that will help to shape their organization as they move towards the future. Even more importantly, reskilling the talent that exists inside that organization, and then being able to build a culture and a mindset that's reflective of what's necessary to win in this generation. And the leadership dynamic that's necessary to win. And when you really begin to peel that onion back, it comes down to I've talked about it as a hacker mentality, but that kind of almost simplifies it. It comes down to more understanding how a connected world really will operate, and being able to see the future of what a connected world actually looks like, and the implications that will have in a big way on every single process that sits inside your organization. And that's where I think the biggest challenge is how do you build a digital mindset inside of established organizations.
I think again with the marrying of e-commerce and the media function together, which is an unprecedented marriage in any of the CPG organizations. And so we believe, and it was actually an approach that has been driven by Laura Henderson, who currently runs our US media, called Media Meets Commerce. So what's the future of media meeting commerce? And so I think what you're going to see is us really focus on reinventing an entire approach to e-commerce that is digitally centric, digitally led, but also media driven. And so the ability to take every piece of media that we have and begin to drive that to a close, we believe is huge. And we also believe that there's a portion of that which is not just online sale from e-commerce, but also the offline influence sale. And so when we begin to look at partners like Facebook and retailers like Tesco, and the ability to use anonymized data to identify have we actually targeted the right person, and obviously saw lift on the other side in an actual physical retail environment, that begins to close the digital ecosystem as well. So what you'll see us focus on is growth. How do we accelerate the growth from a sales perspective of the organization, both via our channel partners, but also looking at how we'll be using a more digital framework to also begin to understand the impact that we're having at retail at scale. And it's partners like Facebook and Twitter, the guys that have scale, and our YouTube or Google that are going to help us bring that to life. I think mastering digital media as it pertains to driving sales is a new way to be the category captain. I think it's one thing to be able to do a great Facebook post. It's another thing to understand if you're actually driving product off shelves from Facebook. Crush it. Yeah, lack of digital culture, hands down. Look, I think that we have to ask ourselves, if we were run by Google, would we operate the same way? And if we believe that we would operate differently, then we have to figure out how to get to that stage, how to be that organization. And that's the mindset shift and the cultural change that we need to make in order to win. And to be quite frank, in order to actually truly drive growth. Growth, the unlock of growth. If you really look, and this is what, you know, I believe that if you actually study, you know, if you really begin to look at the industries that are growing, the one industry that's growing unbounded is this digital ecosystem, not just growing from consumer usage and adoption, but also monetarily. And so how do you begin to tie yourself to this growth engine here, which means reinvention of your organization, your thinking, your capability, all those kind of things.